Well, I'm sitting in front of the toilet paper again. I think you can about imagine what this is at this point. So, yeah. I just wanted to make a short video because I've wanted to make NASCAR content for fucking weeks, but I physically can't. Hopefully that changes soon. So this is just going to be a little expose on Chandler Smith and Hailie Deegan. So I've seen this debate going on in Deegan's racing reference comments, and I'm thinking, you know what? This is honestly a good conversation to be having. And it's just like, yeah. Chandler Smith versus Hailie Deegan. Smith has come in guns blazing. Absolutely just bitch slapping the field every week. In ARCA, he is absolutely murdering them. He is in the best car in the field, yes. He is in the best car in the field, but at the same time, he's still managing to do things that we haven't seen since Eric Jones. If you can even say Jones, I don't know how he did in ARCA. I don't even know. But just to have someone clear out of the blue, just picked out of the ether, and now he's just here killing everyone week in and week out, and it's like, what? Where was this? Why? But you got to consider, once again, like I said, best car in the field. He has never not been the best car in the field when it comes to the actual ARCA starts and the truck starts, because he's literally in the Rudy Fugle 51. So he's only done 2 races. He's already been closer to wins than Brandon Jones, but hey, what you gonna do? But then you have to bring, but then this is so obviously like Chandler Smith, absolutely amazing. I've just sucked this 16-year-old's dick for the last 2.5 minutes. Okay, so you can pull that out of context if you want to. All right, I give you permission to pull that one out of context, but that's gonna look good on the resume. But yeah, he's amazing. All right, let's just get the fuck on with it. All right. I'm way too fucking tired. It is 3:30 in the morning, okay? You have no idea. Uh, so, Hailie Deegan. So, everyone's, I don't know. Well, yeah, obviously, I'm on Twitter enough to know that everyone is definitely saying that she's the next coming of Jimmy Johnson. At least the next coming of Dale Jr. Going to have the popularity and probably the same level of success. Because I think Hailie Deegan has cup winning potential. I don't think she can win a cup championship. That's where you need to start paying attention to, the Smith level of domination versus the Deegan level of consistency. Now, Smith is consistent as well. He has one finish outside the top 10 in 19 ARCA starts, I think. I think it's 19. But, it's just astounding the level of domination that we've seen out of Chandler Smith. But if you compare it to Hailie Deegan, Deegan is doing, fine. Nothing special if she was, any other gender. Maybe not any other gender. Maybe one of the 67,000 genders that I, don't have all the knowledge about in the world. Maybe like the demigod genders or whatever, A Packy helicopter, I don't know. Maybe that's a more disadvantaged gender when it comes to actually making it big in the NASCAR world. But the point is, Deegan's doing, passing. Deegan is having a passing success so far. 3 K&N West wins. I want to say that's nothing to scoff at, but at the same time, K&N West is kind of awful. K&N has kind of been trash for the past 5 years or more. I don't know, man. I don't know. Now, when I looked at the qualifying results for the New Hampshire East race, and I saw that Deegan was 1.1 seconds off pace, and it's like, you know what? She's absolutely fucking cursed in K&N East. I don't know what it is. Like every single race except for one in the East, and she's ran like fucking 8 or 9 of them now, and it's just shit after shit. Like she's just fine in West. She's just fine in West. What's the difference? Is there really that much of a difference? Like, what are the time zones going on here? Is it just because you're tired because you think you're still in like California or something? Like, I swear. But I don't know, because I just look at that. I'm just sitting back and thinking, okay, she's 11th. She's in the bottom half of the field. She's like me before. She was like me in iRacing before I figured out how to actually drive in that game. And it's like, what have I done to deserve this? Apart from all the things that I've done to deserve this. And it's just like, I don't even know. But the question rises, like, what's the limit? What's the limit to Deegan? What's the limit here? Because she's doing fine. She's got one finish outside of the top 10 this entire season in West. And that's better than last season, where I think she had like 4 after the whole season was done. And we're actually nearing getting close to the end of the West season. We're getting close to the end of the East season too. Thank you for doing the canceling the Thompson race. It's like there's 14, right? I want to say there's 12 West races and 10 East races this season. Like, I swear to you, cutting car counts and cutting races. Like sooner or later, we're gonna have one race to determine the championship. Oh wait, we already do. That's the stupidest fucking shit. Good shit, guys. Good shit. We're really making, progress here on this shit. So the point of this video is just, you see someone come in and dominate the lower rankings like Chandler Smith has, and you got to compare that to Hailie Deegan, who's being boasted as the next big thing. And you see, the problem is, where can you draw comparisons, and where do you draw the line from, legitimate hype to just Twitter being Twitter? Do you like the microwave? Microwave's nice, isn't it? It's not a very good microwave, I'll be honest. Man, I'm just trying my best to stretch this out to 10 minutes. You see, if I was actually, like, not half dead right now, I might be able to crank this out in 5 minutes, but instead, like, my train of thought, like, if you fucking watch this as just, like, a forensic, no, not a forensic, like a psychologist, and you're just like, man, this bitch has ADD, and it's like, no, I'm just tired. You think that that's ever happened, that someone got misdiagnosed with ADD and they were just tired? I bet it's happened. I wouldn't even put it past the American healthcare system. So anyway, Chandler Smith dominating in basically everything he drives, already in the truck series at age 16. However, Hailie Deegan, age 18, just turned 18, by the way. Hailie Deegan is now legal. Do with that information what you will. And it's like, who can you compare Deegan to? Maybe? God, I don't want to do this. I don't want to say it. Can we start comparing Hailie Deegan to Brandon Jones? Oh my god, dude. Oh, it physically hurts. Yeah. They definitely have not had the same level of success, unfortunately. But that's the thing. It's just like, you take a look back at guys like, like Bush, look back at Jones. Like, even Casey Mears could drive, he could climb into the best car in ARCA, because that's really what it is. It's like, Venturini is the top team in ARCA because there's nothing left. And even Casey Mears could drive the best car in the field and win straight out the gate. I think he has 3 ARCA wins. Deegan has 3 ARCA starts, so you know what? Comparatively, I think Casey made some ARCA starts before getting to Ganassi. But it's like, at the same time, it's like, top level equipment, guaranteed wins. Like, that's what you need to start paying attention to, is the guaranteed wins. When you get to these downforce tracks, and obviously, how was Deegan allowed to run Pocono if she was still 17? What the Something ain't right here. You know what? That's a legitimate question. Why was Deegan allowed to run Pocono and Arca? She was 17. What the fuck? Questions that need answers. Oh man. I don't know, dude. But like I said, Venturini is a top level equipment. I mean, we're seeing what it can do. Michael self destroying everyone whenever his car isn't destroying him. And you know what? That's a fair point. Michael Self would probably have won half the races this season if his fucking shit could stay in one piece the whole time. Like, if it weren't for all the dumb wrecks and all the bullshit mechanical failures, like, he'd probably have won 8 or 9 times now. So is. And I'm sure Deegan isn't getting the top level equipment. I am sure that she's probably the lowest priority on the entire team. Like, you have Ekis and Self, who are competing for the championship, and then you got which I still don't understand how, because Ekis missed a race, and if you do all the races, you get a 600-point bonus at the end of the season. So why are we even still talking about Ekis as if he's in championship contention? And then you have, Smith, who's just a fucking beast, apparently. So they don't even need to focus on him. He can win these races with his eyes closed, But, I don't know, dude. I guess the entire point of this video is just the comparative nature of this shit. Like, it's just, when you compare someone who's being hyped up as the face of the sport for at least, 20, 25 years to come, you're looking at hyping that person up while we have someone who's even younger and is absolutely murdering them. Like, I believe that we should be past the point where we should be comparing Deegan to the rest of the female drivers in NASCAR history, because it's just no comparison at this point. I don't know how good the equipment that Patty Moise was in, or, Shauna Robinson, Aaron Crocker, I don't know what you can compare that to. Like, even people like, Johanna Long, Tammy Jo Kirk, who have won the Snowball Derby, like, they're winning some of the biggest races in, the world of American oval racing. And then they came into NASCAR and couldn't do anything, even though, they have some trash equipment and whatnot. But, see, I don't think we can really compare anyone besides Danica who's ever had this level of support, maybe beyond Aaron Crocker. I think there was something propping up Aaron Crocker between Ray Evernham's legs, but anyway, like a kickstand, propped up like a kickstand. Yeah, it's just like, I don't think we've seen anyone with this level of commitment from a top level team. Like, we all know that Chevy and Junior Motorsports, maybe not necessarily the top of the line team in the Nationwide Series before, 2013-ish, but definitely up there. And then obviously Stuart Haw is like no comparison, right? But I don't think we've seen anyone with this much commitment. So I think you can stop comparing her as far as all the other female drivers in NASCAR history is concerned. Now I think you need to start legitimately comparing her to the future, like what used to be the future talent and is now the future DGR Crosley fodder. The next generation of Josh Rayum Racing reserve drivers. I'm gonna park for Jennifer Jo Cobb in a few years, but anyway. Like, you gotta start comparing them to, like, let's just throw a name out there. Todd Gilliland, he hasn't done much in trucks, but he absolutely just murdered them in, Gilliland was putting up, you know, like comparative numbers to, because like, and once again, he's on the top team, not necessarily the same car, because the car was transferred to Kraus, and Kraus has basically come in and basically doing the exact same thing as Gilliland. So how much of it is just being the focus driver? Do you think Kraus is the focus driver this year compared to Deegan? I would say no. I would say that Deegan's getting the push this year. Kraus had his chance last season. I'm thinking it's the case. So they're going to give Deegan the push, and Kraus is just carrying himself, because that's just how fucking good he is. Like you don't even need to bring up Chandler Smith. You can just look right across the aisle in the Bill McAnally Racing shop, and you'll see, direct comparison. Literally the exact same equipment, unless, one driver is getting more focus than the other. And even still, Kraus is absolutely just blowing Deegan out of the water so far. I mean, last year was no competition. This year, it's definitely closer. But still, Kraus is able to perform in East, whereas Deegan can hardly even get a top 10. The true test, I think, is going to be next week in the Combine race. We already had a good indicator at the Sonoma K&N race, but that's just such a big fuck bag of a race at this point. It's just like, let's just strike that one from the record. Let's just pretend that never happened. I mean, the people who lost all the money in that race are never going to see that again, but we'll just pretend like a black hole singularity appeared in the Sonoma garage and just ate up a couple of cars. Let's just say that that's what happened that day. Let's just make that the official canon. Whenever, like, 1,000 years from now, when like future historians are looking back, that's the official record. That's the official record. I can draw it on some hieroglyphics on this toilet paper. That'll definitely set the record straight. But in any case, the true test is going to be the Iowa Combine race. Everyone wants to win the Iowa Combine race in the K&N series, both West and East. That is the hallmark race. If you're not going to win the championship, at least go out and kick the ass of both the West and the East in one race. And I'd say, like, Deegan did fine last season in it. She drove up from the back and then got in a wreck, like in the top 5. So it's like, I mean, she drove up from the back, and it's like the combined series. It's going to be like, something like 28, 29 cars. Like, it's going to be a respectable field. Like, it's actually going to be hopefully competitive. Do I work that day? Fuck, I do. Son of a bitch. Well, I guess I'm watching from here. Watching it regardless, because the combine race is like, if you just look at NASCAR.com and see the NASCAR Next group, like, you're not getting enough. You need to see the fucking combine race. You need to see the future talent. You need to see who's going to get the opportunity. You need to look back in 5 years and say, "Oh, I watched that guy finish like 12th in the combine race. I see you, my man." But yeah. Yeah, there's still a very good chance that Deegan wins the championship this year. I thought it was over with that one, with whatever the hell happened. Like, I don't think it was a blow up. I thought it was just an actual wreck. It was some dumb shit. I'm pretty sure it was dumb shit. I think the car was destroyed. It wasn't actually a mechanical issue. But since Kraus got mega fucked at both Colorado, I believe it was, and Sonoma back to back, like, yeah, that kind of blew the doors wide open there. But it's still just a 8 point separation, and that may not sound like much, but in a series like West, where if you finish, first, you get 40 points, but if you finish last, which is like, 16th, you're gonna still manage to get like 26 points out of it. And even then, you got all those the starting parks, which I don't think are so much a thing anymore in the West series, West and East and ARCA. I don't think there's many Parkers, but there's there's such a huge gap of separation. Like, it's the Xfinity series on steroids when it comes to the lack of parity. Like, you got basically what you have is a bunch of Christopher Bells versus a bunch of you know, Mike Harmons. That's basically the parody. You have 9 Bells on the track, and then like 6 or 7 Mike Harmons. That's the state of KNN and Arca. That's just, which is the sad part. You know what I really hate about this is that I'm looking as that, you know what I should do is just, you know, have my face over here, and like even then I'm still fucking looking over, because like, to see, the problem is that the screen's over here but the camera's over here, so I'm just awkwardly staring off into the distance like this, like I'm in an interview, like I'm just giving an interview. It's like, yes, I do enjoy sitting in front of toilet paper. It's actually one of my favorite things to do when I'm on the clock at work, you know. No, no, I'm looking at myself on the screen because I look like hell, and I probably should do something about that. But anyway, what was the point of this video again? I just wanted to fucking talk about NASCAR because I haven't gotten to for weeks. So, yeah. I guess we're done. Bye.